Welcome everyone to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Ruled by Fate by Sam Withrow and Amelia Pincus. Brianna Weldon is just a young nurse graduate before her ordinary world collides with the extraordinary. Her reality is shattered by supernatural forces. Just as evil descends, her angelic guardian Cameron swoops in from the heavens and saves her from darkness. This is actually our second book, I think, that we've gotten that has two authors. I was kind of like, oh, cool. I love it when two authors kind of go in it together and have like this journey and do like this really cool mashup. So I was actually really excited to read this one.
Can you tell it was written by two authors?
Like, no, I know. I felt, because that is like a tricky thing. I feel like when it's two separate writers, they kind of have like their own vision and like it goes in weird ways where things just don't kind of mesh well. But this one actually really does. I felt like all the humor was on point. So this is like a fantasy romance, lots of humor in it. I feel like almost it's like a comedy more than anything, which I love. And I felt like it all really meshed well.
It starts off tragic, as in the intro. Attacked by demons, her mom dies, and everything goes haywire. And it takes her 5 years of therapy, convincing herself that what she saw was just visions or dreams, nothing, just in her mind.
Yeah, it didn't really happen. It was like a horrible event, and your mind just kind of tried to make sense of it all, right?
But it's interesting, just the intro. She talks to her therapist, not psychiatrist.
Yeah,
You'd think she needs a psychiatrist, but no, therapist.
I mean, everybody needs a psychiatrist and a therapist. Come on, No, I love that they integrated that too, like that whole like PTSD or trauma, getting therapy, things like that. I love that they pulled that into the story as well.
Yeah, she didn't just forget and be like, okay, everything's fine, let's move on.
And because she was so young, I think it's so important, especially for kids, like they go through something traumatic. It's important to seek help and things like that and learn how to cope and work through stuff. I love that she's on the phone with her therapist, and she's just like, yeah. Like,
yeah, I got it. Whatever.
I'm good, I promise. I got this. And she's totally not good.
Yeah.
I feel like, speaking for myself, I feel like I've had those conversations too where I'm like, it's fine. And I hang up the phone and it's not fine, with my therapist. So we've all been there. Sometimes you gotta just lie a little bit. It kind of makes you feel better. I don't know.
Yeah, and that poor houseplant. It's like a metaphor, right? It's like her life, like just hanging on.
I know,
like
the
this poor little
houseplant
thing.
Yeah, oh my god. Like we said, there's like so much humor in this. It's just page after page. It's just so funny. There's so many lines that we could just pull from it.
So when she died, you could say it's like a car accident where demons attacked her and her mom. An angel came out of nowhere and just happened to save only her and her mom.
So her mom was wearing this pendant that she is now wearing, which was given to her by this fallen angel. We found out his name is Cameron. He tells her, never take it off. It's going to keep you safe, which it does for many years until she takes it off.
Well, she starts getting like an itch, chapter where she's taking a bath. Yeah. And she kind of just, I don't know if she does it intentionally. I don't think it burns at that moment, but she just takes it off and then she starts to like drown in the bathtub. Like she's like some force is keeping her under.
Yeah.
And then when she, everything snaps to, like she sees a flash or something and everything gets back to normal, she kind of just shakes it off. Oh, that was an earthquake, and then moves on.
That was actually a really frightening part because when she goes under the water, you feel super claustrophobic, and you can she can kind of see all these dark things happening around her and this feeling of darkness, and like you're very much so in it with her. And I'm like, oh my god, like if you've ever drowned or felt like you're drowning, it's super unpleasant. So that alone was like horrifying.
Yeah, and then she just took it like, it's nothing. My neighbor's working out, an earthquake. Let's move on.
I know, but honestly, I know, at first I was kind of like, wait, why did she just take that like so nonchalantly? Well, I feel like it's because she's had past trauma, right? Like, she's kind of been like, well, I've seen some horrible stuff or been through some horrible things. Like, that was kind of like, it was like a 2 out of a 10. Wasn't so bad. I'm still here.
Yeah, talking about that pendant. So I'm going to read a quick quote from the book about her getting like that itch again, but this time it is burning her neck, so she's taking it off as she's driving, and then all hell breaks loose, and then welcome Cameron. This is his reintroduction to the story, and
Yeah, and I think this is when it really, like, the story really kicks off.
She braced her knees against the steering wheel and attacked the thing with both hands, lifting it over the crown of her head. The second she did, everything changed. A burst of cold air hit the back of her neck, chilling the entire car. The windows crackled as ice slowly formed a thin film, obstructing her view. She looked around in confusion, her breath clouding suddenly in front of her. That's when she saw it, through the ice. There it was, the monster from her nightmares, in the middle of the road.
That's just scary, especially driving. Like, I'm scared of just driving and sneezing while I'm driving, you know?
Yeah.
And she has, like, this burning pendant on her, and she's just, like, trying to claw it off. And then all of a sudden, like, the scariest thing she could imagine just reappears in front of her in the road while she's driving. Like,
yeah, and everything starts freezing and she can't see outside. It's like, what?
That's super, super crazy.
So as mentioned, yeah, that's when Cameron comes in. He fights off this demon and is throwing like lightning bolts at him. And she survives. Mm-hmm. And that's where it kicks off. And it starts getting more interesting. And this is where, I guess, the romance part of the book comes in, right?
Yeah. Oh, but wait, let's backtrack a little bit. Because we're missing the most important part. That when they reunite after what has it been 5 years after her initial accident with her mom.
Talking about reunion, she vaguely remembers the angel telling her, "Don't take it off. Like we'll meet each other again."
But she also
5 years ago.
But she also remembered his name.
Yep.
And she remembers, what he said. And she remembers him. So yeah, he shows up again. And you feel like they'd have like this more of an emotional reunion maybe on her part. But no, that's not what Brianna does, okay? Not our Brie. She straight up just like clocks the fool in the face. It's like, where have you been?
Yeah. And then as she's passing out, then she faints. That was pretty funny. Enough. We're expecting like a romantic... Where have you been all my life? You're back. You're going to save me from this terrible life.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. That is not what happened. But I feel like I like this version a whole lot more because it's funny. It really brings out her personality and you kind of see where she's coming from. And you're like, yeah, I would be upset too. Like, you just straight up, you saved my life, and then you just, like, gave me this pendant and left. You just bounced on me. Like, what am I supposed to do with what happened with this pendant that I know nothing about, and why can't I take it off? And who the heck are you, dude? Like, why do you have all these powers? Like, so many questions. So I feel like she was so justified in punching him in the face. I just didn't expect it. And that was a good thing.
Especially how she just... What's that word? Sorry. I couldn't think from this Cameron dude. Because apparently he's like this Brad Pitt, George Clooney.
Straight up just God. Yeah. I love it.
Because even before she punched him, she even sees like his ice blue eyes and his aura and all this stuff. And it's good that she doesn't care. Like, she says that he's this beautiful guy and perfect, whatever, but she still tells him what's up and punches him. And
yeah, because she's like, because I got questions. I don't care how gorgeous you look.
Yeah, she had like a million questions.
Well, yeah. But like,
understandable.
Didn't you get like the vibe though that he could really read her mind? I don't know if it ever became super clear that he could do that because I feel like I never got that.
Yeah, it was either.
But a lot of the times, he could just read her. I don't know if he could read her mind or just read her body language really well.
Or he was a stalker.
Well, he kind of was.
Apparently, he's been watching her and was always around.
Yeah,
which is weird.
No, it's not. He's her protector, but he has to be, like, in the shadows, you know? He can't just, like, be a part of her life. She's a human. He's not. You know what I love, though? And what I want to know? Let's talk about Cameron a little bit. Okay, he's, like, gorgeous, whatever. We're over it. But, like... I wonder what influenced him to take this form. Because that's what he said, right? That he took this form.
He's normally just, like, a floating light.
Yeah, because he's very... pure. Like, as you get to know him and like a lot of his personality, he seems very sweet and pure and like honest and
like this
very
waitress,
genuine.
This waitress was hitting on him. Was like, aren't you a tall glass of water? And he's just like, yeah, I'll have one. Yeah,
that sounds good. I'll take a tall glass of cold water here. Yeah, he's so oblivious to the fact that he's like gorgeous. So I'm wondering like what were the key factors of choosing that appearance specifically? Like, did he think he would blend in? Did he think he would like I don't know, did he think it was a good idea to stand out? I don't know what his thinking was.
I have a feeling he knows what she's into or what movie she
Maybe
likes, and then he took the form of, these actors that I just mentioned.
That is actually a really good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, maybe because he's been such a stalker. He's like, oh my God, yeah. She loves these movies with these like gorgeous, amazing guys. When I become, human form, this is what I should be looking like.
Yeah.
It all just flowed super well. Everything meshed. All the ideas came together. And then we're also left at the end on a cliffhanger. So we already know there's going to be another book, and I'm really hoping that the authors really follow through and stay consistent with the humor for one, because I really enjoyed that. It was legit just like left and right, but it didn't feel overly done. So I really hope they stay consistent with that. I hope that like the romance is vamped up just a notch, because that's always nice, a little bit more spiciness is great.
I liked it though, because there were just hints of it. It wasn't forced. Like Angel shows up, oh, I'm in love. Like,
I know,
when did that happen?
But see, realistic, again, right? She had, like, valid points to be upset. But yeah, we're looking forward to the second book. So, guys, check out Ruled by Fate by Sam Withrow and Amelia Pincus.